Your mind remembers how you were loved and uses that memory to love others. Today we're going to talk about attachment. And I'm going to give you what I think are the core principles behind it, as well as how it can be utilized in practice. What are the main benefits of knowing and understanding attachment? My name is David. I am a psychologist from Trinidad and Tobago. It is partly overcast, although there's still some sunny. It's a beautiful Saturday. And I'm going to read you a haiku from my book, Psychology Haikus. And then we'll discuss the haiku, and then we'll get into the theory and application of the knowledge. Because what is knowledge without application? Nonsense. Okay. The haiku on attachment theory. Heart remains a child. I love you how I was loved. Heart remains a child. So, when I was a young boy, I, like many people on this planet, had a mother. And I loved my mother. And like all humans, none of us are perfect. And so I only realized much later on in my life that the kind of love that I sought in my romantic relationships, in my friendships, in my teachers, was directly influenced by the style of love that I received from my mom. And so I love how I was loved. And up to now, my heart remains a child in some areas. So what does that mean? According to Bowlby, John Bowlby, I apologize for my Trini accent if I said that wrong, but that's a theory from Bowlby called internal working models. We have these internal models for love. And love is not just a privilege, according to Bowlby. Love is a survival requirement to develop a healthy mind and to prosper later on in life and to have good relationships. It's required, it's necessary. So in this internal working model, we develop beliefs about ourselves. One of these beliefs are, am I worthy of love? So based on the relationship we had with our primary caregiver, the person in our lives that took care of us mostly, whether it be our mother or father or granny, auntie, uncle, based on that relationship, this model about ourselves is developed. Am I worthy of love? And in particular, it goes into the other question. What are the conditions for me to receive love? And in our experience of this relationship with our primary caregiver, the certain situations and events that we went through with them would lay the blueprint for the answer to this question. Am I worthy to receive love? Well, somebody who has been abused and neglected, well, they might not think so. They might not feel like they're worthy to receive love. And if in order to receive love, the conditions to receive love, the person had to get straight A's or look a particular way or be obedient in a style and adopt the beliefs of their guardian, then that creates a blueprint for the conditions that you think that you need to receive love. And remember, going back, your mind remembers how you were loved and uses that memory to love others. So you use that memory that you developed with your primary caregiver, that internal working model, to interact as an adult in relationships. The second belief is about others. So in this internal working model system, the question is, at the core of this belief, are people worthy of my trust? Can I trust people? So I have a beautiful girlfriend, and I recently visited her um, in her native country. And the family has two dogs, right? These two dogs. Actually, family has like 6 dogs. But I'm going to talk about 2 dogs in this family. The first dog was, they got it from a pet breeder who specializes in a particular breed of dogs. Those small, cutesy little dogs, right? And then there's another dog who they rescued from the streets. And the first dog, the little cutesy one, that one will run on top of you, jump on you, lick your face. It's always there. It wants attention. It feels comfortable around new people. However, the second dog stared at me for like days from the corner of the room, just like observing me. Like I was like, that guy, I don't trust. And it took a long time for it to warm up to me. And one big thing I noticed is that if I raise my hand to the first dog, to the pedigree dog, nothing happened. The dog didn't even know. It didn't recognize this as a threat. If I even thought about raising my hand to the other dog, that dog it run, scatter immediately. And so this belief about others, we could see it in the example of these 2 dogs, that one has a belief that humans are caring and look out for me, and the other one has a belief that is revealed in its actions and its relationship with others, that people are dangerous and I need to be very careful around them. And as simple as that sounds, many people have that same belief. I had a friend in India my great friend, he grew up in a not so friendly Gurukula. A Gurukula is like a school for kids in India that is religious based. And in this Gurukula, he was regularly corrected with physical violence, like hitting and slapping and punching and fighting. His teachers did that to him. And so when I met him, I'm a playful guy. So I'm kind of like, when I like somebody, I like to play a fight with them. That's how my dad and I, just like, I'm not violent. I'm like a little playful. So when I would go by him and play fight with him, he would respond like he's under attack. Like, this was a severe response to my playfulness. And I asked him, I was like, why are you responding this way? Like, I'm not attacking you. Like, have you been like recently abused by your girlfriend? And he told me about the Gurukula system. And he also understood that in himself, that he was sensitive in that way. So our blueprint, our inner working model for others is developed in our early childhood. That's why you have to be careful where you send your children to school. And even so, how you raise them. And finally, the last question is in relationships. Our beliefs about relationships. Is love safe or is love dangerous? Now, our beliefs are not something we're going to be thinking about every day. And they don't develop overnight. They develop over years, especially those early years of our childhood. And if we have a belief, a subtle belief, that love is dangerous, that is going to significantly impact how we live our life. So, I'm not going to touch on Mary Ainsworth strange I'm going to put up the experiment and the research paper here, because every psychological textbook and every psychology 101 course is going to touch on that. So I'm not going to repeat. There's enough things on the internet about that. So I'm going to jump into how it's useful. Increasing insight, and self-awareness. So when I understood that my pattern for love, how I sought love in other people, was born by my interactions with my mother, then I could catch myself when I have this automatic attraction to someone. And I will I ask myself, is this related to my mother? Is this person presenting characteristics that remind me of my mother? Because in the end of the day, I want to fall in love with someone who is appropriate for me, not necessarily someone who matches my mother's style of giving love. So understanding your attachment and your relationship to your primary caregiver and how that has influenced your style of love is extremely important for your own self. The second way, it helps you to gain insight into other people. And this is primary for the purpose of compassion. So when you understand that because somebody had a particular relationship with their caregivers, and this has influenced them to be the person that they are and show love in this particular way, you can now have compassion for them, understanding for them. You might not retaliate and be angry when they are expressing love in this way, but you could kind of hold space to help them to give insight as well, to gain insight about themselves, which is a beautiful gift, y'all. If you can help someone to understand themselves, if you could give someone self-knowledge, that there's no more valuable gift in the entire universe for someone to understand themselves. So that's the second one, increase knowledge about insight into oneself, insight into others. And the third one is to break generational patterns. I'm going to touch about this in the other haikus. Other haikus are on the different attachment styles. And I'm going to explain how these generational patterns have developed in our Caribbean history based on the trauma that has happened to several different cultures throughout the last 500 years. I'm going to talk about each attachment style and how it was conceived, or my theory on how it was conceived in the Caribbean. But it's the same thing. In order to change, first you need to know yourself. First you need to wake up to the reality of what's going on inside of you. And when you change, not just you changes, but your bloodline changes. And that is also a great blessing that you can give to your future children and grandchildren and your bloodline. So that's it for today. I'm going to jump right into the next video. This came from my book, Psychology Haikus. It's available on Amazon. If you support me by buying a book, you would really help my professional life and my creative projects. And I am a psychologist from Trinidad and Tobago. If you are in need of psychological services, as many of us are, just send me an email and we will take it from there.